We've looked at a few different pinpointing techniques for finding a target with a double D coil. Now that you pinpointed it, you want to recover it. The only thing else to consider here is how deep the target might be. If it's a coin-sized item, it's going to be pretty accurate to what's shown on your detector's depth indicator because they're geared toward coin-sized items. Items that are much smaller and larger can be a little different. So to demonstrate, I've got a little round ball here, a piece of lead from the 1800s that would have been fired shot. And I've also got a soda can, which is flattened out. So you've got a large target and a small target in addition to the coin-sized target. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and put these in the ground. I'm going to put this soda can down deep in this hole. And with the ruler, I'll show you that it is about 6 inches deep or so once I bury it up in there. And I'm going to put this piece of lead in the ground. It's at about a 3-inch depth. So it's a small target, it's shallow. I'm going to bury that up right there. And I'm going to mark it with this blue chip. Then our soda can, I'm going to put a bunch of soil on that and bury him deep so that he's at a good 6-inch depth. And again, I'll mark the top of him with this orange chip so we can come back over and know where that is. And then we'll take a look at size versus depth. Now that we've buried the small item and the large item, let's go back over it and see what our depth indication is on these two items. Eight inches, or if I get the coil right down flat on the ground, I've got 6 inches. So that's double the actual depth of 3 inches where we buried that little tiny musket ball. Now let's go over the big target. Two inches on the depth. So that's 6 inches deep and it's showing only 2 inches. This one here is 3 inches deep, but it shows to be 6 to 8 inches deep. That's what effect the size of these items has on it. Coin size is optimal. Smaller or much larger than a coin is going to affect the reading of the depth. So that's what we're going to see on this. So let's go back over and decide how can you tell if it's bigger or smaller than a coin size. Anything much smaller than a coin size item, you're going to lose real quick if you lift the coil off the ground. For example, as I lift that coil off the ground, I lose that target right away, so I know that it's small. But when I go over this can, I'm going to keep that much higher. Pinpoint. I'm still reading that pretty high off the ground, a foot or so off the ground. I'll go back and even swing over it. If I can lift my coil that far off the ground and still get a good solid reading on it, I know that it's much larger than the size of a coin. And the best way to test this is to put some targets in your test plot at home, bury some different size objects, and go over it with your detector and your coil and learn where a small item falls off, where a coin item falls off, and where a big item falls off. And then in the field, if you don't have an imaging or profiling feature that some of the Garrett machines have, then you can do it yourself by just lifting the coil and getting a general idea of how big that target is.